So one of my videos I talked about using ozone salve for reducing scar tissue appearance, but I'd also like to talk to you about ozone face mist. So ozone face mist is a combination of ozonized glycerin and purified ocean plasma. It's a fancy way of saying purified ocean water. Ocean plasma contains 72 different trace minerals, which are very nourishing to the skin. They are also an isotonic match to our fluids in our body and also our blood. When something is isotonic, it means it has the exact same amount of particulates that our blood does, which means it absorbs in extremely well and also does not damage any blood cells as it absorbs. If something is called hypertonic or hypotonic, it either has more particulates or less particulates than our blood. And so when it goes into the bloodstream, then it can actually damage red cells. In this case, the combination of the purified ocean plasma along with the glycerin. Ozonized glycerin is new to the market. When I started learning about ozone 20 some years ago, it was all ozonized oils or ozone gas, or even ozonized saline or water. Ozonized glycerin is kind of taking the market by storm in some respects, in that it is a sugar alcohol. It's not an oil, so it's not a pure water base. It does actually stabilize the ozone molecules longer than water. Ozonized water, the ozone molecules are stable for about 4 to maybe 12 hours depending on altitude and also temperature of the water. Also, ozone saturation in water depends on altitude and temperature. Ozonized glycerin, on the other hand, can actually stabilize ozone molecules for about 90 days at full potency, depending on temperature. One of the things that we've noticed with the ozonized glycerin, and the way that I started this video was about scar tissue, is that well, obviously we created this for the face because anti-aging and we will want to look good for as long as we possibly can. But we've started to branch out and try it for other things, and we've tried it on older wounds and repeated injuries. In this case, a person who has a port, which is used for IVs in their chest. Repeated punctures with needles on a weekly basis through that port tends to leave scar tissue, and that scar tissue will become red, and it doesn't have the elasticity that normal skin tissue does. So with repeated punctures, what ends up happening in a situation like that is eventually the skin wears out and does not fully close over those punctures over time, which leads to having the port removed and possibly a new port installed. It's just kind of an unnecessary thing if you can try to avoid it. So what we've been doing with this individual is we've been having her use the ozone face mist on that port each night, not while it's accessed with the needle while she's undergoing treatment, but after the needle's been removed. And what she does is she puts it right on the port and just allows it to soak in overnight. And so she does that each night. And what she has seen is that the skin is not as red. And in her case, her port, it's going to be used for quite some time. And so it needs to stay as healthy as possible. And the more elasticity and collagen that remains in that skin, the longer the lifespan of the port itself. And the healthier she's going to be overall, because the skin is the barrier that provides the protection from the outside world and all of the microbes that are there directly into that port. So keeping it clean and healthy and keeping the skin as healthy as possible is going to add to the longevity of it and decrease her anxiety over having something like that under her skin and regularly being accessed. If you haven't tried it before, Ozone Face Mist is on our website, ozonecharge.com. We sell the bottles for $20. The ozonized glycerin, we ozonize for several days prior to shipment. Each bottle is made to order, and so sometimes those orders take a little bit longer depending on how much glycerin we have ozonizing at one time and how many orders we have coming in. So typically we try to get our orders out within 24 hours, same day if at all possible, but if that one takes a day or two longer, it's just because it is going to be made specifically for it and shipped immediately to you. So again, if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. Ozoncharge.com is where you can buy it, and hope you have a great day.